because I feel like outside of, Gronk and Tom, I feel like you and Edelman probably might be, two of the most loved people, in that organization and around the community. He got there a year before you,
Yep.
and maybe a little bit of different start because, obviously he was a later pick and things like that. But I feel like you both grew together, where he was on the offensive side of the ball doing his thing. He played a little corner too. That I saw, he got a little corner run. Y'all was just throwing anybody at corner at one point. It was like,
That's how bad we were in 2011.
yeah, I was throwing anybody at corner. But I want to talk about him because I already know, just like in practice, like the competition that you had, that the reps that you got against him, and even, Wes Welker and other guys. But I want to talk about just, having that relationship with him and being able to grow with a player like that and to win those Super Bowls together. And you talk about him making plays in that Super Bowl, huge catch in that game, and then you making plays in that game. What was it like to have a guy like that where maybe be undersized, but just a fierce competitor, probably like yourself, that you were able to go to work with each and every week?
Yeah, man, he's a dog. I hated playing against him in practice. Like we would be in there almost fighting because super extra, gonna block you, gonna headbutt you. He gonna do all that stuff in practice. And what I love about with Jules is we're still competitive. Like he goes on Fox to open a year this year, and the first thing he brings up is he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna wear all my rings like McCourty did when he went and started his first day on the other network." But that's what I love about it. I think we all took that. I think we all had a chip because when we got to New England, they had 1 to 3 Super Bowls previously. So our core all came around the same time, in '09, it was, Pat Chung, it was Edelman, it was Sebastian Vollmer. In my year, it was me, Gronk, Spikes. It was so many different guys. Then Nate Solder came in 11, and 2 years later, it was Hightower, Chandler, Deron Harmon, Logan Ryan. So, like, next thing you know, James White came next. Like, you looking and you're like, yeah, we kind of built a core up right here where like we got guys that can. So I think we all grew and we all had kind of that little bit of that kind of, yeah, I'm gonna prove people wrong. Like people doubted me most of my career. So you spoke about Jules being at Kent State, a quarterback, 7th round draft pick coming in, playing behind West, being a punt returner. But like always, like with Jules, he's a nut. Like he thinks he's better than everybody. And that's what he wanted to prove. And I think our group, we were all tired of, are these guys going to be able to win a Super Bowl like the other guys? Like that's all we used to have to hear about. We used to have to hear about the other guys before us, the Teddy Bruschi's, the Willie Macks. Like we got tired of it. Like, yo, those guys are great, but like let us be us. Let us shine and do what we do. So I love that because I think our whole group was built like that. Like we would always talk about that. If like a former Patriot player says something, we'd be in the locker room like, man, F him. That like we gonna and I love that energy because we all had it. And Jules kind of spearheaded that, like never a captain, but I always tell people he's one of the best leaders I got to be around because his leadership was all about toughness. Like you weren't gonna play with a tougher player than Jules. He was gonna play with freaking torn cartilage in his ribs and getting injections every week. Like he was gonna go out there and give it all he had. And when you were his teammate, you were like, oh, I got to match that. Like, I got to bring my toughness up to his level because I can't just be out here looking weak as this guy's out here undersized, tough as hell, coming in here, crack blocking people, doing all of those things. One of my favorite teammates, hated competing against him in practice, but on Sundays when I was sitting on the bench, I loved watching him going out there. Even the time when we used to be on kickoff, he would be on my side. He would be the fast, contained guy. I'd be the kind of safety come down and get it over the top. And I would tell him, he was like, man, the guys, I was like, yo, Jules, I don't care if you contain. I said, just go play fast. I'll make you right. And he go down there and make plays and he point at me. And I just like that was always his energy. And we had good times playing together.